Hi everyone, Vince here. Welcome to my top surveys review. There have been so many advertisements for top surveys claiming to be one of the best reward applications on the market, but is it actually the case? Let's find out together. Hope you enjoy. So this is what it looks like when you launch it up. Top of the screen, you have your balance and your goal. At least in Australia, the minimum cash out is $5 worth of currency. Straight away, you're going to notice here, we have offers, everyone. So these offers are, of course, not surveys, but gaming and application offers. Now, while those big numbers may seem appealing, just remember, usually with offers, especially with gaming offers, generally the higher the prize, the more difficult the offer is actually going to be. So always keep that in mind. Underneath, though, you can see the featured surveys area. Scrolling down here, you'll notice that we have a huge variety of surveys, all willing to give different amounts of currency for your time. Now you can either scroll down that whole list on the homepage, or you can go to the separate categories. For instance, tapping on the survey category will bring up, of course, every single survey on the platform. Right now, at least in Australia, the highest survey I have available is $2.50 worth of currency for 11 minutes of my time, while the next one is 13 minutes of my time for $2.28. And then obviously the lower we go, the lower the prices go. Now just remember, just because a survey is long does not mean it's going to give a lot of currency, okay? I think it needs to be mentioned though, with surveys, you always run the risk of being disqualified, screened out, or the actual survey glitching out. But to be fair, with top surveys, I didn't actually have that experience. So that was very pleasant to see. And you'll notice here as well, a huge range of surveys that are actually available, at least for myself in Australia. Again, I can't stress that enough. Depending on where you live, the survey availability is going to be completely different. In fact, your actual count on top surveys will also determine the amount of surveys you'll get and the prices you'll get as well. Now, if you don't like surveys, top surveys actually has a different option here. And I do have to say the prices are actually very impressive here, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Especially with today's economy, with the prices of offers. While not every single one is going to be worth the time and effort, there is definitely some potential here, which again is excellent to see in this time and age, as not many apps are actually giving fair prices anymore, I've noticed. For instance, I have a Vegas Craze offer here for $1,037, whereas the highest offer I have is for Goblin Miner for $2,054, guys. A perfect example here though, even though it sounded really good, if you actually break down the offer itself, you'll notice pretty quickly it's a very difficult offer and you won't get the bulk of that prize until the end. Tears. I just quickly want to say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, everyone, okay? I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, in regards to the payout options, in Australia, I have PayPal, Revolut, and 95 gift card opportunities. So for PayPal currency, which I focused on today's video, the minimum is only $2 worth of currency, which is outstanding. Revolut being $5, and I found with the gift card providers, it ranges from $2 all the way up to $25. Realistically, it actually depends on what the store you're going through is actually offering at the time, or at least what top surveys is saying they're offering, okay? But with a range like that, you really can't complain. And again, depending on where you live, obviously these options are going to be completely different. These are all just online stores and real shops based here in Australia. So when I went through my test, everyone, I actually was able to complete a 15-minute survey for $3.19, an extremely high amount, given the time spent. And that put me over $10 worth of Australian currency in total, because I already started with around $7. I went through and cashed out that $10 worth of PayPal currency, and I am happy to say it did state that I received an email within 30 minutes, but in fact, I received that email within about 5 minutes. And yes, everyone, that PayPal did hit my account straight away without any issues once I redeemed it from the email itself. So in total, I've completed 10 surveys on top surveys and made $20.67, which is around $2 on average per survey there if you break that down. And actually, as we're speaking, a $3.44 survey just became available for 8 minutes of my time, while we have another 5-minute one for $2.24. I think the best piece of advice I can have when completing surveys is, of course, always be honest, but sometimes even that won't land you to survey. So don't feel discouraged, everyone. Even I get disqualified all the time. What I would do though is go by the shortest surveys and actually pick the highest amount, obviously. I mean, it's pretty common sense. A 5-minute survey for $1.61 worth of currency, you can't really go wrong. The only thing to note here, it does have a 2.5 star rating. And that's because you can actually rate surveys when you complete them. So if you do have a bad experience, make sure to rate it 1 star, because then it actually warns other people about the survey and maybe they won't want to waste their time with it. Either way, if you live in a country that has survey opportunities, you're going to have no problem with top surveys, in my opinion. Many surveys to go through, and if you scout it out throughout the day and constantly check back on it, you will get some really good prices, I suspect. Either way, that's my review on top surveys. In my opinion, it definitely lives up to the hype. Whether or not it's going to continue to do that, that's the question. If you do want to use top surveys, I will leave my little link in the description below on my website. Supposedly, I'll get 10% commission every time you complete a survey without affecting your income. Check out my channel for almost 1,000 reviews. Catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen.